Alright you guys, what's up? Today we're back as promised with the character guide in order to celebrate for me hitting 1k. You guys have been absolutely awesome with the support and I really appreciate it. So we're going to be dropping a video guide every single day for the next 10 days in order to celebrate this awesome feat on the channel before we move on to the next game, which will be Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. So today we're going to be covering Jiraiya. Now Jiraiya is absolutely not a very good character in the game. If you had to ask my personal opinion, he is probably top 5 worst in this game. He's really a character you're going to pick if you like the character. If you really like Jiraiya, just be prepared to work extra hard to be able to use him, since he's really not that good. So let's get straight into what can Jiraiya do. So for starters, he has one infinite, which is his hard crumble. Very simple. You can see once he puts his foot down, I'm going to go ahead and restart that. And he has a second infinite, which isn't really too practical, but I'll show you it anyway. And you can combo off of that animation. The AI is on rebound, as you can see. It's on, and they cannot rebound if you do this. Don't complete the up combo. Don't do it all the way because they can rebound out of that. Just right before the last hit animation, you want to go ahead and do that, and you can continue that way. It's kind of a pseudo little infinite, just for what you can do with it. You can catch people right before they hit the floor, but again, it's really not worth the timing and effort to even try to do that. But I will show you here that it is possible to catch people right before they fall on the floor. But the timing required is just, I wouldn't really be trying to go for that, because the amount of air supports that can stop what you're doing in this game beat everything Jiraiya can do in the air. So that's why I say he only has one infinite. Moving on, he has his two jutsus, his flame bombs, which you can use for long range and in the air. Does a pretty decent amount of damage. It's not that crazy, but it's pretty solid damage. And then he has his Rasengan, which you cannot cancel, but does more damage than all the others. I would really only pick this guy unless A, you have a really solid team surrounding this character, which is you know, air supports, characters that hard stun lock, things like that, or B, you really understand fundamentals well and you just can use anybody in the roster. So let's move on to some online matches, because again, there's really not much in terms of, you know, how to use this character. Everything I've shown in the previous guides he can do in terms of comboing with crumbles and things like that, but that's not really something that's necessary for this guide, particularly because everybody in the game could do that. So let's go ahead and hop online, and I'm going to show you guys some online matches using this character, and watch me struggle as I try to use the worst character in Storm Connections. Let's go. So someone made a request and asked me to actually speak over my matches while they're happening to kind of get an insight on exactly what I was thinking in the moment. So I'm going to try to give that a little bit of a try in this, instead of commentating while I'm playing, because I tried that in my matches and it just wasn't working well. Jiraiya's a pretty bad character and I had to focus a lot for these matches, and I can just watch it and understand what I was doing in the moment. So for the most part, in this match particularly, I was using Jiraiya as a point character, and as you can see, I was using his jutsus as a mix-up. And my support choice was Naruto, due to the fact that Naruto's air support is really good, and just Sasuke to kind of help with the neutral, and he also has a really good air support. And that's kind of just what I did. So he had a very safety team. You know, it was very easy for him to stop any combos that I was doing, so the switching was something that I had to constantly do, and baiting out his subs as much as possible. He went Awakening here, but again, fundamentals is really key when it comes to fighting certain characters and certain people, so I understand my counter timing, so I was able to read all those, get rid of his supports. And again, like I said, Sasuke was really there to help out with that neutral. He messed up there and it was a wrap there. Naruto was there to finish that combo, hit him with that Chidori, and that was the end of that round. Easy stuff, man. So second round we went through, and I was running Sasuke for point for a little bit, and Jiraiya is a really good support in terms of Rasengan. Sometimes he'll turn around, sometimes he won't. It really depends on the angle, but in this match particularly, the real issue here was just getting in there. Once I got in, it was up, because I know how to combo and I know my neutral game, but it was really just getting around these supports and getting rid of all these safety hazards that he has. So again, understanding your counter timing and having really good supports to help you is the key. So that that split second I countered there, he whipped his attack, and now it's just time for me to combo, right? He messed up. Now it's my opening, so I'm going to go ahead and hit him with a nice ultimate, get as much damage going as I possibly can. Get that Rasengan going, good amount of damage, absolutely good amount of damage. As slow as Jiraiya is, his damage is what makes up for it. So now I'm just getting him in the combo mindset, getting him in there, and he's on low sub, so he's practically dead. At this point, I just have to hit him with a shuriken, and I was playing with my food here for some reason, but I was really annoyed with his supports because they just kept saving him, so, but, well, I was messing around with my food, but at that point, you know, the game was already done. So that's what that match particularly was. It was getting rid of his supports, all that extra armor. He has 4 subs and he has 2 supports to save him. And Shikamaru and Tamari forced you to sub multiple times. So once I got around that, the combo game, it was up. So let's go into the next match. So with this team here, I kind of wanted to go with the whole Naruto student theme, along with Boruto being his son. Kind of do a legacy thing that made this team cool. And also with the fact that Boruto is going to be the next guide character. So I wanted to give you guys a little bit of a sneak peek on what I'm going to be doing with this character. But both characters are really good with neutral. Their jutsus both can save you in hard times, and they're really good on guard pressure, which is something that Jiraiya is lacking, since individually you can just break his combos. The one thing about this Jiraiya that I will say is really good is his Rasengan support. He will absolutely track you down and turn, and it also hits you multiple times if you sub-trap, so that's also something that's absolutely worth noting when it comes to this character. He's definitely not good, but you can make him good. You just have to run in with the right support. So there we go again with that guard pressure I was telling you about. On his own, he doesn't have it, but if I have the right supports for it that force you to guard, your guard is just as glass, and I can go ahead and get some combos off of it. So in this situation here, I was losing neutral because I was in the corner, and he's not really good in the corner, especially with these characters that he has versus me. And I kind of got stuck here with Ashura, and I thought he was going to hit me with the ult, but I rebounded just in time to get out of that. And from there on, I was on defense mode. Boruto kind of saved me there, and again, we still have that Naruto to bail me out of those tough times. And with that support there, he's kind of open, but it's all right. We're going to finish him with the air combo and get back into neutral. That first round, I was kind of testing him out, trying to see, because this is the first time he picked this team, but I was like, you know what, let me lock in. So I locked in, and this time I was offensive when it came to using Jiraiya, and it absolutely paid off being offensive, because he was expecting me to kind of play timid with Jiraiya, because that's how I've been playing him. But once I kind of picked up how to use Jiraiya a bit and switched in between my mains, going back and forth, the match was a lot better in terms of the matchup, and I wasn't struggling as much. So in this case here, he was definitely beating the shit out of his son being me in this situation with Boruto. But once I get up and lock in, it's gonna be a wrap. So I got up, and at that moment, I was just like, all right, let me get on this man. So I started off with Boruto, and then from there on out, I was kind of just switching out, taking advantage of all the mistakes he was making, because he was not used to be playing this way. And at this point, I was just taking full offensive advantage. There we go with that frame I was telling you about, where you got to lock them down. Went ahead and hit him with that. Nice little T-mode. Definitely had the down pull as well for the down defense for that extra damage. And at this point, I thought he was going to die, because Jiraiya's ultimate does a lot, but he was just alive enough. Once he got up, he definitely played it more smart, because all I had to do was play a bit more aggressive. I could have punished him a lot faster, but I hesitated because of the supports he has. And at this point, it was really just me trying to be aggressive and me playing his game instead of me waiting a bit, because he had a little bit of help and I really did not want him to survive. But Naruto's hitbox and a little bit of some support help, and I was just dumb, bro. Naruto's hitbox is really just that good, so he really did beat me that round in terms of that. But I did learn my lesson on how he was playing, so I intended to take all of this information into account. And at this point, now I know, all right, so this is how I beat him. So now I'm switching with all my different characters at this point. I'm not really just relying on one, and I'm using all of my fundamentals at this point. There's no need to just stay on Jiraiya. Instead, I can use all the characters to my disposal and switch out as needed. Naruto hit me when I was waking up. For some reason, that never really happens when I use him, but now I'm like, all right, bet. He's making mistakes, he's panicking a bit, and now this is where I get to be aggressive. Like I said, switching between characters, taking full advantage of my switch frames, everything that he would not be expecting, because before I was only playing with one character. Now, taking into account that I can switch using all my fundamentals, from here on out, it was a wrap. So now he's cornered, and that's it. He's still not dead somehow. I don't know how. For me, I'd be dead, but that's fine because we're just going to whop him in the face and lay him down. He definitely wasn't too happy with that because immediately after that, he went straight to menu. He was just out, man. But I definitely was not expecting Jiraiya to actually be this decent. He's still the worst character in the game, in my opinion, but to actually use him and use him against meta characters and use him against teams that really I should not be beating with this character felt good, and hopefully you guys are able to do the same thing when you hop online with this character and use him. Like I said, if you're going to pick him up, you're going to be trying 3 to 4 more times than your opponent, but it does feel good when you finally get on top. But stay tuned for the next guide tomorrow. It will be Karma Boruto. Let me know if you guys like the whole commentary thing or if you just like the gameplay. I'll take all that reception into account with my next guide, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Later.